hello, and good evening. Arsenal 2, even Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2.
That's right.
Champions League, match day 3. Arsenal are victorious in Seville. Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul, and welcome to the Cannon Club Instant Match Review. As usual, I am joined by my co-host and my good friend, Mekz. How you feeling, my boy?
Boy, that was a second half, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Like the boys dug deep. It wasn't easy. Even the missus was sitting next to me saying that Sevilla were gonna score. She didn't believe the equalizer was coming. At times it looked like it, but we've done very well. So it's like you can exhale now. Match is done. 3 points. We move.
Nah, trust me. As usual, guys, Cannon Club Live on all your socials. You can catch this on our YouTube, which is also Cannon Club. Make sure you tune in all your podcasting, all your streaming devices and apps. Make sure you catch us there. But with no further ado, let's get straight into it. So as I've said, obviously at the intro, Arsenal were victorious. This win puts us top of Group B after Lens and PSV drew 1-1 in France. Initial thoughts, bro. How did you just what was your initial feelings about the match? Just straight off the top.
It was never gonna be easy. This was the hardest match in the group, in the hardest venue, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Arteta made reference in the presser and everything that the boys had learned from their lesson at RC and Lens, that last Champions League game away from home. And I think you could see they were doing all the right things. Defensively today, I think we were superb. Like, there was the odd break where they got the best of us. They rattled us a couple times in the first half. The odd break where that Inyezri shot wide. They tried. And us going forward, we were okay in parts. We definitely came to life in some moments around the box. Good possession throughout. It was just a very mature performance. Like, I think the words of the guys had learned from the mistake of the RC Lens match. It definitely rings true. Like, you could see they were playing this game differently to what they'd done a couple of weeks back and didn't get a result for.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the word I would describe it is like a seasoned performance. A lot of grit, determination, and just utmost quality in the vital moments, which got us over the line. So yeah, let's look at the lineup. There's not a lot to say outside of the one change, which was Tomiyasu for Zinchenko, and most notably absentee of Thomas Partey, who apparently didn't travel because of a muscle strain. Now, I know he wasn't there, but we cannot rely on this guy. That's just a little side note. I just want to let all Arsenal fans know we cannot rely on this guy. I heard a stat that in all the big games that we played this season, Tottenham, Man City, Spurs, Chelsea, I think there's even one more there, he has played 15 minutes.
15
minutes. Just out of that, 19 times 4 is 36, so 360 minutes roughly. This guy's played 15 minutes of football. I mean, the guy is classy. And if you remember, guys who are listening, and also Mekz yourself, we spoke about who's Arteta's best signing. And I wanted to say Partey, but he's just not available. I just think it's, it's... And there's a picture of him going around on X or Twitter, kicking the ball for his baby shower, and it turned to dust, and his legs the AFCON guys that kick them.
Very high.
But anyway, any thoughts on the lineup? Anything you weren't happy with, or were you content with the lineup? That was the best we put out.
The Zinchenko obviously being left out was probably the main thing. full confidence. Obviously, this wouldn't have been the case maybe a couple of months back because we spoke about Tommy, but after recent performances, I had full confidence of Tommy coming in. I thought maybe it's because it's a tactical reason. Maybe they've got something, I don't know, the Sevilla team that well. Maybe they've got something, you know, loaded, waiting to attack, and Tommy's just the best person to deal with that. And Tommy was exemplar. Like there was like in the first 3 minutes, Tommy was in our box, like he was like, doing strike.
There was a point where he kept trying to bend his run, and I don't know if it was Ben White, it was like a throw-in or free kick, and he kept trying to like signal, yo, I'm in.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking if he can adapt his game to do this, why couldn't Tierney? Maybe Tierney just doesn't have it in the locker then.
That's the only thing I can think of is that maybe it's not, because it didn't look like he wasn't willing, because Tierney was trying to find himself in centre mid. I saw that, but maybe Arteta didn't think he had the minerals to do it to the level he wanted him to.
And it's not to say that Tommy is doing it to the level of Zinchenko,
but of course
he's entrusted to, you know, have a goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that obviously bringing Tommy in, like I said, you don't feel any unrest about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to not speak about David Raya today. I did not want to speak about this guy today. Obviously, he maintained his place in the team. I sighed, but that's our goalkeeper, so I have to get behind him. I did not want to speak about this guy today. There was something that happened very late in the game when I was like, Jesus Christ, we need to speak about this guy today. But other than that, the lineup was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the party absence, I thought that that was probably the best lineup we could have gone with. I wasn't nothing I could have said really like similar to you. I just thought that Ramsdale would have made a return, but I saw some leaks from early saying that Raya was due to keep his place in the squad, which I think is very disappointing, but we'll get onto that later. But yeah, just a little like play by play. I kind of felt like the first half was kind of, you know, bit of them, bit of us. Kudos to them, you know, and even all of the teams that we played, that they haven't sat back, they've all been brave, whether at home or away, to try and play their football. They haven't made a thing where it's like, you know, we know Arsenal's good, so let's like sit deep. Sevilla controlled the ball for some parts of the first half, and so did we. But I was happy overall that we seem to have a lot more control over the ball in the first half. A couple chances here and there. I mean, I'm going to speak about individual people later, but it felt like if there was a bit of a flat part in the first half, it was our midfield. Personally, for me, I said I'm not going to talk about it initially, but Jorginho, Ødegaard, again, we'll kind of save it for maybe the player ratings, but yeah, just not great again, unfortunately. I felt Jorginho was better than Chelsea, definitely. I just didn't see Ødegaard today, I'll be honest with you. In terms of noticeable chances, I remember Sevilla had like a little counter. I think they nicked the ball off us in transition. I think Sergio Ramos gets in front of Jesus, and then En-Nesyri has that chance you were speaking about. But I think Tommy did really well to put him off. I think for us, obviously, we had that Martinelli chance. I think first 10 minutes, I thought he should have bagged. I think Jesus has got through. He's put him in. It's the ones where you just roll it through their legs, you know what I mean? But I think he's gone for that. But great save by the keeper. And yeah, then it just felt like a little bit of like tennis match, a bit of back and forth until a moment of magic, of pure. It was naughty. It was naughty. So I think, I don't know if it's a corner or free kick, but the ball's broken to Jesus. He's surrounded by two defenders. I'm thinking, let's just see out the half. He cross turns, splits them, and plays a through ball to Martinelli, who's well onside, running from inside his half. And you know what, bro? I was calm. I was very, very calm. I was like, at first, he kind of slowed down for a second. And I was like, I love it. I absolutely love it, because composure. Instantly, and I like the commentator said it as well, he's trying to make an angle, because if you're running straight, it's very difficult to try and find the angles to kind of do what you want to do. He's instantly decided, I'm going around this keeper. He makes the angle for himself, slows down, kicks it around him, back of the net, 1-0, half time. Bro, what was your reaction? I mean, to that goal. But I'm obviously talking about the Jesus turn. That was
it was
silk.
Yeah, it was brilliant. We were under it right there. It wasn't a corner or a free kick or anything. The ball was live in play. They had knocking it about, and I think they had just put a cross in that went towards the back post. The cross came back in and got headed out. Jesus was there. 2-man, no problem. Man found his way out of that situation. Gabby is running for his life through the middle of the pitch, like you said, from inside our half, well onside. I think it was Sergio Ramos and Jesus Navas, the two best people that you would want last, that will never catch Gabriel Jesus in this century. Maybe in another millennium, then man would have caught it. Gabriel Jesus Navas for sure, because he was a quick one back in his day. But yeah, Gabby splits them. First touch, boom, they're out of here. And then I'm literally waiting for the next defender to come, and I was like, oh, he's through. He's through. Like, and then like you said, composure. Like, he slowed down so much, and Sergio Ramos still couldn't catch him. Still didn't bother. Like, rounded the keeper, and then you saw Sergio Ramos put a little kick into his step, but even then he was nowhere near. And then Martinelli just put it in the back of the net. Amazing turn under pressure by Gabi Jesus. One of them ones where if that doesn't come off, we're bunning him.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell are you doing? But with a bit of Brazilian flair, confidence, he turns, he sees his man. And again, that's the kind of striker he is. He's just like, sometimes you want him to be the main guy scoring the goals and everything. He sees the man, puts him in, great ball. Martinelli, no mistakes at all. Slides it in, and for then the half-time whistle to blow right there, then you can't ask for anything more.
Honestly, it was a brilliant way to end the half, and I think it kind of settled some nerves, because it kind of looked a lot more competitive than I would want it to be, but I knew it was going to be a fight, so it wasn't that I was like thinking, oh, we're going to come steamroll them. But obviously, we were talking about it in our little preview on the Chelsea pod that we did, the match review, that we wanted to get a goal early. And that's why I was very frustrated with Martinelli for missing that chance. I feel like he should have scored, but it was a good save. But that would have been a great way to settle the nerves, quiet the crowd down. But yeah, we entered the second half, and Sevilla came out like bats out of hell, very, very aggressive on the ball, very much trying to get the crowd, G up the crowd, and get them on their side. And I think Declan Rice wins it. He kind of drives inside, plays a ball out to the main man, Gabriel Jesus, and he just ducks inside, has enough time to look up, sees nobody's around, and says, you know what, I'm wrapping it. And absolutely lashes it top corner, curls it top corner, finesse on 100. I mean, bro, what is it with this guy? Because his performance at Chelsea, I don't know, there was a moment when the ball went up high and he tried to volley it and he's just scuffed it, like left against Chelsea. And then you get this sort of performance. I know you can't expect someone to be always on it, but he just seems like he's either here or he's here. And he's rarely mixing in the middle. I mean, I guess for large parts when he first came last season, that was very much his MO. But recently, he just seems to be either on it or not. But clearly, he loves the Champions League, because that's 3 goals in 3 games for him now. So he's a man on form in this competition. What did you make of that goal?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant finish. Emphatic finish, just as we love it, like crashing into the goal. It's just like you said, like he's got it in spades, the ability, like it's obvious. But it's just, when are we going to get it on a consistent basis? For him to wrap that goal in, for them to then say, and then obviously we saw what he done for the assist in the first half, the overall performance he gave, and then man turns around and says that's his 4th goal of the season. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, because August, September, October, we're 3 months into this league, nearly, about to end October. He scored 4 times in all competitions.
3 of them are in the Champions League.
3 of them in the Champions League. Look at that. So it's not good enough. Like, but he is a transformative player. Like, he is absolutely transformed the way we've played. Unfortunately, I just don't know how much longer we can get away with the lack of quantity of goals. But an absolutely great finish. And at that point, you just thought, yeah, it's done. Like, it's done. We never knew what the last 20 minutes was going to look like for us. But yeah, we thought at that point, you know, we're over the line here.
I mean, it looked like we were going to get a third. Like, all of a sudden, we had absolute control. Sevilla looked like they were, you know, not giving up, but they didn't have an answer. But as usual, and as we have seen numerous times over this like Premier League campaign, 2-0 is not the scoreline you want. And yet again, we switch off at a corner. It was a really good ball, I'll give him that. But I don't know who it was at the front post or who let the scorer get ahead of him. I don't know if it was Gabriel, but
it was Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, it wasn't good defending at that near post. And great header. Raya has no chance, no blame at his door there. And then Sevilla again came with all the energy. We looked a bit rattled, started making subs. And to be honest, we see out the game. And for that, I'm giving the majority of that to Declan Rice. His defensive efforts in that last 20, 15 minutes. Bro, how many times can we say it? How many times can 100 million plus the 5, the biggest bargain of the season, probably in the world, maybe bar Bellingham. I don't know, bro. But brother, like, this guy is just you see when he did that run.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my, this guy just shrugs off like 3 players. And his ball carrying ability is absolutely insane. He's carried it through. And I think he played it to Saka, and I felt again Saka didn't have an amazing game. His decision making was a bit poor in places. But yeah, he's just amazing. And then like the real last moment of the game, the ball comes in, that right back comes on to replace Jesus Navas. He turns Trossard in and he puts in a delicious ball with his left foot. Raya jumps out, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to punch it out. Then I just saw the ball in the air going the opposite direction. My bro, I screamed.
I thought it had gone.
I screamed. I said, what? How did I thought, did someone get a nick? Did it like, Nick, see the highlight now? Man's just punched it backwards.
Literally. I saw him jump out. I didn't know what had quite happened. I didn't know if he got the connection on his fist. When I see the highlight and like he must have hit his knuckle and went the other way, I said, God, what is going on? What is going on? Like, they brought in this guy to give us confidence, to improve us, they said. And don't get me wrong, these things can happen, right?
Of course.
Again, we go back to the whole meritocracy. If someone's not playing well, if you're not instilling the defense with confidence as a goalkeeper, I'm sorry. There is another goalkeeper that was dropped for no reason. Like, bring him back in. Like, again, this man has fallen on his sword now. You know, if I want to count today, then I can count today. So this is about 3 to 4 times. Like, we've seen error-prone stuff. There was even a chance. There was something happened in the first half where we were passing along the back, and he went to clear it, and he just kicked it straight to like a lofted pass, but straight to one of their players. And I was just thinking, forget all the bad handling and all this other kind of stuff. This is the one thing you lot said this guy is better than Ramsdale at. And now he's not even proven that. So the decision, and they know as a club that Arsenal fans love Ramsdale. And they're making it hard for Arsenal fans to get behind this Raya guy because you're justifying basically by every selection, you're justifying these errors he's making.
Yeah.
And the icing on top of the bloody cake that I didn't want to ever see this. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus scores now. All the players are all jumping on him. Do you know who was there in the huddle jumping on him as well? This
Tell me.
flipping goalkeeping coach. What's the Donny's name that brought in right?
Inaki Kanya.
This man was in the huddle. And I
Oh,
was like, I don't want to see you right now.
I hear
I
you.
really don't want to see you right now. But yeah, David Raya, I mean, I don't know how many more times we're going to have this conversation. How much longer, before something's going to happen, something's going to change. Because right now, our quality in places is seeing us through.
Mm.
We've lost one game, I guess, at the hands of one of his mistakes. That was the RC Lons game. There was a mistake in that game, which I believe led to a goal. Yeah. If we lose a Premier League game because of this, we know we can't afford to. It's a luxury with Man City in this league to do that. So yeah, something needs to happen, man. I'm not confident when I'm seeing him on the starting lineup these days. I won't even lie. The confidence has gone because I don't believe he's confident anymore.
You know what, bro? I hear you, and it's so far from when I first saw him against Everton and how calm and composed he looked. I was like, oh, I can see why we've got him now. This guy looks cool as ice. Now I look into his eyes, and this guy just looks like, where is the whistle?
Yeah,
bro. And the thing is that I felt for him for like a little bit of time because I said, this guy's come from, and we've spoken about it at length, so I won't go into too much depth. He's come from Brentford. He's played big games, quote unquote, but they're not with the same pressure that you get at Arsenal. I feel like every game he's played in the last 5 or 6 weeks, bar like Everton, have been big games. Spurs, City, Chelsea, now the Champions League game against Lons. And there's just an element of like, it's giving me the feeling that he's out of his depth, that he's not been able to rise to the top. He's not been able to compose himself and show his ability. And I was like, then maybe you're not for the club. But then I said to myself, maybe it goes back to Arteta and it goes back to Iñaki Kanya trying to bring his boy through. Like, I'm not sure if he's up to the level. Now, don't get me wrong. People were saying on Twitter, on X, whatever, showing highlights of Ramsdale's mistakes last season, more specifically the one against Southampton when he passed it straight to Alcaraz and he's bagged. And that kind of set us on that downward spiral where we ultimately lost the title. But I'm sorry, like, it's meritocracy. We've got to move past that and we've got to go back to that keeper at some point if you're making consistent mistakes. Like, similar to you, I didn't want to talk about Raya today. He made that error with the lofted pass, and there was another one where he passed it straight out, and they had a little kerfuffle on the edge of the box. And I think like we've managed to like just defend the error because I think the players tried to chip it through, and he's just come and collected it. But again, with this, punch at the end, it's just like, bro. And then there was even a point at the end. I think Acuna is trying to put in a cross, and then he's just come to collect it, and he's holding the ball like this. His eyes are wide open, bro. He's like this. I'm like, tranquilo. Bro, I don't know. I just feel like it's similar again. Like I've said before, it's similar to the Havertz situation. And I know it's a bit different with the keeper, but I just don't know if, like, again, every eye is on him now. And like said in commentary, and like we've said, the extra pressure, knowing that there's a quality keeper in the wings, you've created this dynamic now. We said meritocracy. We've got to start seeing some changes, even just to protect this potential future Arsenal player, because it's just not enough. But I wonder how Ramsdale's feeling. It must feel a bit hopeless. Do you think so? I mean, we spoke about Ramsdale should be barking at man's door if he's not in the team, and he wasn't in the team. And unless Arteta's told him a little something, I'm thinking, like we said, Euros is in the summer. I got to go. And I don't know if I'm going to do that on the bench. Players like Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, they're all knocking on the England door as well, outside of like Pope and obviously Pickford. You know, you want that third keeping spot. At least to say you were there with the squad. If you know, depending on how well the team do, you might even get a little play. But he's not going to do that off the bench. It's not doing his England chances any good. So yeah, I don't know what Ramsdale's going to do, but yeah, Raya I don't know what he needs. He needs a nice, easy game, but yeah,
there's none of those. Not
none
playing
of those.
for Arsenal. Like
Well,
the way he's being asked to play as well. Like if you're just gonna be one of these keepers where the ball comes and you hoof it, then yeah, you might make half a decent career. But at the same time, Arteta will get rid of you. He don't want you if you're gonna do that. So if you're gonna be what he wants you to be, you've got to be able to play. And the part that is killing me is that you lot said this guy is the player. This is the guy that's better than Ramsdale. And I won't lie, for maybe 2 games or so, yeah, he looked like that guy. But part of being a top Premier League keeper, a world-class keeper, a keeper for the Arsenal, means that you are going to have to play in big games. You will get rattled. You will, have to face shots and efforts on goal from some of the best attacking players in the world when we play in the Champions League. Like, we haven't even come across any of them yet.
But that's Europa League fodder. Let me not be disrespectful. It's just Europa League quality teams, shall we say.
We haven't even come across some of the best forwards European football has. And this is how we're shaking, punching balls behind our goal in the last 5 minutes of a game. Like, I beg, instill confidence in me, bro. Like, I should be, like, we should be here talking about, as much as we love Ramsdale, we should be here talking about, yeah, it's long for Ramsdale to get back into this. Like, I don't know. Ramsdale now has to think, do I want to move on because this guy is better than me? And not because this is a bloody injustice and I'm getting a chance when he's not playing well. That's what the conversation should be. But right now, and admittedly, it's not all of the fan base, but some of the fan base are rightly clamoring for Ramsdale back just because of what the manager has said of how he's managing, these positions and stuff like that. So I don't know whether this is a lesson to Mikel as opposed to don't put your plans out there and then you won't have to, have to eat your words effectively. Ultimately, he's the manager. He can do what he wants, but he will also be judged on that. If Arsenal come close to winning the Premier League or something like that, and there's a goalkeeping error and it's Raya between the sticks, you're going to get cooked, mate. Big time. You're going to get cooked. If it was Ramsdale, we'll cast him. We won't be happy and we'll say, oh, he's done it again or something. But it's almost what we're going to get.
Yeah.
With Raya, you brought him in to be better. And right now, your only saving grace is that this is a loan deal.
Yeah.
That is your only saving grace. Because if you had paid up front for my man, and this is what we were getting,
it'd be problematic. It would be hugely problematic. I mean, you know what? Let's just get into the player ratings now that we're here. We're with David Raya anyway. But I mean, that was the end of the game. We saw it out, and I mean, again, like I said, we're now top of Group B, and now we've got a nice run: Sevilla at home, Lens at home, and then PSV away. I mean, just on the back of the Chelsea result, like just before we do get into the player ratings, like how big is this win for Arsenal? Because we had a bit of a shocking performance, although we stole a point from Stamford Bridge, and we spoke about the importance of this game, getting a win at this cauldron, which it was. We were just speaking while we're off camera about the Sevilla fans drowning out the Champions League anthem at the beginning of the game, and just could you imagine as a player there? They got all the speakers around the stadium, and all you're hearing is shouting and screaming over the top of it. So. Yeah, and to go there and to do it, I'm really proud of the guys. I'm really proud of the boys. So, but yeah, I think this is massive, and I think just to instill confidence that we can go to these tough away grounds get wins, play our football, and just show the rest of Europe that you don't want to draw Arsenal. You don't want it with us, because even if you're going to get one over us, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it was a very inspiring performance, and after the weekend where we were not good for 70 minutes at all, and we just did what we had to do to get back in the game and get out of there with a point. This was a very solid and well drilled, mature looking performance, like you said, well seasoned performance for at least 70 minutes. With the 20 minutes, so just being parts where Sevilla got back into the game, or towards the end when they were really putting us under. Even then, we really stuck by our guns and cleared with everything that came to our 10 outfield players' way. Our goalkeeper that wanted to see if he could do something for his Spanish brothers, but yeah, and you know what? I'll just say the only reason I thought when I saw Raya was starting this game, I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's some Spanish intel. Raya will be able to translate what they said. I'm tricking myself. Like, I'm tricking myself, because I still can't believe Ramsdale wasn't picked after the weekend. But anyway, the boys were very impressive. Look, I'll get this show on the road in regards to the player ratings. Ramsdale, sorry, Ramsdale. Look at me. Raya, I'll give Raya a 6. Pick balls out from the air very well, which is another quality they said he had. Why they brought him in so far, so good. With the kicking, again, there was a couple under pressure passes that didn't reach their men. Which again, a quality they said they'll bring him in for, but that's the one that's kind of been letting him down right now. That nervy bit at the end where he punched that ball and it just went behind him. Yeah, that could have been curtains for his Arsenal career. Honestly, that would have been fans putting his head on a stick. Luckily, he got away with it. Nothing to scream home about. 6 out of 10 for me.
I just think, bro, if that went in and we drew to brother,
I would have smashed my computer.
Yeah, I think that we would have to get dragged out the limelight, because it would not stand. But I think I'm gonna be nice, because man was looking like a deer in headlights at times when he was catching them crosses. So I'm gonna give him the 6, despite the phenomenal error at the end, which almost cost us. Like you said, there was good catching today. I didn't think there was that many issues. He did have the 1 or 2 issues. The kicking, again, just not what I was expecting. It just seems like this is what Ramsdale was giving us, some good, some bad. I haven't seen, like, there's that 1 or 2 nice pickouts, but again, nothing that's like, oh my days, like we weren't getting that. So yeah, I'll give him a 6. Cool. So let us move on to Benjamin White.
Go on.
Me? Yes, me. I'll give him a 7. I just think, he's just a guy, just goes to work, takes his briefcase in, does his thing, and you know what I mean, and just comes out and just another solid performance. I didn't think he did anything wrong. He doesn't stand out, but in like more of a, oh yeah, he's doing his thing. Like, oh, don't worry about him. Like, he's always, don't worry. Once the deadline hits, he gets his work in. You know what I mean? Like, he's just very solid, straightforward, kept moving the ball well. I kind of felt like, just on a side note, he was a little bit more tentative today in terms of overlapping Saka, which maybe was part of the game plan. I didn't mind it. But yeah, great from just another standard game from Ben White. Kind of like in that Saka mold, he just doesn't seem to do anything less than a 7. So 7 for me for Ben White.
Yeah, likewise, 7 for me, just solid. Lucas Ocampos was, not to say, I don't want to over egg and say he couldn't live with Ben White or anything like that. The way he plays, he was just drifting all over the pitch. Ben is not obviously going to follow him all over the pitch and leave his position. So yeah, maybe in some accounts he never really had much to do, but came his way. Applied pressure when needed. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, cool. Let us go to the other side and give you Tomiyasu.
I'm going to give Tommy an 8.
Mm.
I thought he was just very, very solid today, whether it was, as left back, as centre mid, as left attacking mid, as right attacking mid, putting himself about, very tidy on the ball, which is, something that I don't think I realized at first that he had that in his game. Maybe that's something he's developed. Just no thrills again, active, involved, defended well, especially in that last 20. 8 from me.
Yeah, same for me. 8 for me for Tommy. He's just honestly, just so solid now. He just looks like he's gonna do a job, and his one-on-one defending is absolutely top notch. I think there was a I don't even know what it was. Like, I don't know who was on that side. If it was Martinelli or Saka, and the player got through, and like I think put a ball in, and then Tomiyasu came against the same player, had to pass it back. The guy's he's really, really good. And like you said, he was popping up everywhere, very tidy on the ball. We didn't miss Zinchenko per se, I don't think, in that realm. So yeah, fantastic. Tommy gets an 8. Let's go to the centre back. Oh yeah, go for it.
I just deeped the other day. Tomiyasu's 24.
When you say that, that even makes it better. I didn't even think about his age, but 24. He's not even close to his prime as a defender.
24.
That is astonishing. We need to put more respect on his name. He's amazing. Honestly, 24. That even makes me so much more excited, because if you're doing this, I mean, he could be on his way. I'm going to say he could be on to his way of being like one of the world's best. If he keeps this sort of energy up, why couldn't he be? He's fast, he's strong, good one-on-one defending, good on the ball. I know he's not really like a goal scorer, but we don't sign defenders for that. So amazing. But yeah, we'll move on to the centre-back pairing. William Saliba.
Yeah, Saliba was good. They had a handful in Serie to look after today. I'll give him an 8. No real frills, but just solid. Just didn't really let anyone past him. There was some idiot that tried to get a pen and got
bookings. It's Lamella.
It was Lamella. 8 for me for Saliba.
Yeah, 8 for Saliba. I was a bit worried in the first half. Some of his passing was a little bit like he kept trying to hit the diag to Martinelli once or twice and was just getting it all wrong. But defensively was sound as per usual. Again, another one, 22 years old, like 22.
Ridiculous.
What was I doing? 22. Ridiculous. Yeah, 8 for Saliba. And Gabriel will get the same. Just go straight to him. 8. Marshaled the backline really well. I'm really loving his awareness of space. He seems to just know how much time he's got, where he's at, even when he's in the box, like knowing when to leave it for Raya to come and gather, all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to say, like, not indirect, but Ray used to say some madness about, Gabriel being rash. I haven't seen any rash moments from him this season, to be honest. I think he's been very composed, very level-headed. No, like the aggression's always in the right place. No, like rash yellows, diving in. I think we're seeing someone who's like coming of age. I think he's 26, 27, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a bit further along, but still good age. You know what I mean?
Very good age. Yeah, and someone needs to be the leader amongst men of that younger backline. He especially today in such a heated atmosphere, he was very calm. He just marshaled everyone, their team, our team, instructed everyone, used aggression, like you said, in the right places on the pitch, to either break up play or just to shield the ball and be able to turn. Yeah, very impressive performance today. So yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well.
Brilliant. Declan Rice. I think I'm gonna have to give him a 9. I'm gonna have to. He was. I mean, I think I don't know if it was fantasy league, you'd get Declan Rice will get an assist for the Jesus goal. even though it was kind of like Jesus kind of did everything, but he did get the pass from him before. But other than that, he was, again, just like, for large parts, I felt like he was the only midfielder who was really like, there. His defensive efforts at the end, they kept trying to play those like slide rule balls down the side, and he'd win it every single time, making like lung busting runs. He'd like get the ball to the byline, try and clear, then go again, winning the ball, nicking it. That great run where he's taking it from like left DM side and he's just bursted, and all of a sudden he's like one defender in front of him or two. It's just the biggest bargain of the last couple of years. I don't know a better site, a better 100 million you could spend. I don't know if there's a better one.
There isn't. It's the best 100 million like spent ever. Like, and like I said last week, people weren't blinking an eye. Arsenal, people were saying Arsenal going to pay 100 mil. And then by the time it actually went through, it's like, oh, that's a bargain. Like, really and truly, it's a bargain. He's fantastic. Just like you said, he looked like he was the only person in midfield at times. He was just very confident for someone playing at this level for the first time or whatever as well. Like, just very solid, very assured of himself, knows what he's got in his locker, knows the weight of expectation on him, playing like there is no expectation on him.
Exactly.
The runs, it looked like a young boy just running through the park with the ball, just kick and run, kick and run. Just how late in the game, after defending so tirelessly, like you able to still do that, still have the energy to do that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's fantastic, man. 9 out of 10 for me.
I mean, I say, just to add, like, give it like maybe a year, just the first season, to let him settle. He's going straight in that leadership group. He's getting the armband after like Ødegaard comes off. Like, next season, they're chucking it on his arm 100%, because he's born to be a leader 100%.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jorginho. I think that's you, bro.
I think Jorginho, I'll give him a 7. Like, I'm not so low on him. I thought he done the Jorginho stuff. He's just tidy in parts, kept the ball ticking. I was expecting him to, at times when we were in that last 20, just take the ball and do what he does best, kind of just set the tempo a bit more. But he got caught in the fracas that was the ball just going from side to side and everything. I think we've found a way to play. Now, admittedly, it's been against Man City, Chelsea, and now Sevilla away. So I don't know if a Sheffield United he stays in, would that be deemed negative, or I don't know what people would say. But this is like, I would say, maybe the best the midfield has looked this season. The most settled.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
Because the Havertz, Rice, and Ødegaard thing, just because of Havertz, maybe just it wasn't given sort of thing. So
yeah,
I think maybe what I want to see is Partey at the base, Rice and Ødegaard. But
sounding like a make a wish.
Yeah, exactly. I know what party's on. So I don't know if I wouldn't be mad if we stuck with this against Sheffield United. But yeah, Jorginho is just doing up Jorginho. So yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 6. Not that like bad or anything like terrible. Like I said, I think he was better. Had we done the ratings for Chelsea, I would have given him a 5 for that game. But today, I felt like he was better in the first half more than the second half. I felt in the first half he got on the ball a lot more. In parts in the second half, he was available for Raya, but I don't know what Sevilla were doing with their shape in terms of trying to press. Like, Jorginho would just drop into the middle of them and just collect the ball. But I was expecting him to kind of try and take the reins of the game when Sevilla were becoming more haphazard. They were throwing more bodies. Like, a player of his quality, I was hoping would be able to. I know it's not as easy as just get on the ball, then everything automatically becomes calm. But trying to get on the ball, been able to calm it down, play the passes into people with space, and make them have to drop back into space. I didn't see that really. And outside of that, defensively, he's good at the interceptions thing, but outside of that, just not really offering that much, unfortunately. So yeah, 6 from me. And from there, we move on to Captain Fantastic Martin Odegaard, and I'm going for a 5, my guy. He's just a man out of form, unfortunately. He just couldn't find space. I felt a bit sorry for him at times because today he's always a willing runner. And I know you mentioned about that in the Chelsea game, that at least, give you a couple of doggies and he'll press and at least try to be a leader from that front. But he's meant to be like our technical leader as well on the field, I believe, in terms of, dictating play. And he just wasn't able to do any of that. Every time the ball comes to him, he's either just got enough time to kind of lay it off. Little flicks around the corner didn't really come off. Just kind of like how Havertz was. Like, I couldn't see him until he was walking off and he gave the armband to Jesus. And it's a shame because I am a big fan, but he kind of now reminding me of the Odegaard that we signed on loan initially, the last 3 games or so, which was good in like spots, but overall a bit underwhelming. I don't know what the rule is in terms of like dropping your captain, but if I'm Fabio, if I'm Havertz, especially Sheffield United on the weekend, might need to have a little chill on the bench, in my opinion. But yeah, 5 for me.
Everything you're saying is correct, but I'm in denial, so I'm going to give him a 6.
Bro, you're too kind, bro.
I'm gonna give him a 6, but I'm not denying anything you said. I think it would be very wise of Arteta to take him out the squad, take him out the starting 11 for the Sheffield United game. It's giving him a rest, which he may need. That might be the issue as well. Let a Vieira come in or a Havertz, let them prove their worth, and use it as an opportunity to just let him have a sit down. But yeah, it's not looking great right now. But admittedly, we've had a very hard run of games, and yes, he is still who he's supposed to be. That's not really an excuse, but I'll give him a 6 for now. I would jump to conclusions. I'll give him a 6 for now. But I mean, if you heard the podcast from the weekend, the Chelsea game, I said the same thing. Like I'm agreeing with you. I don't believe his performances are anywhere near where they should be or where they have been. He's had the Chelsea game. He's gonna have this. He's had the Sevilla game now. Let him try that one more time, and then I'll definitely talk.
I was gonna say, because if he starts against Sheffield United and he's on some Casper team,
then we're talking, sure.
Yeah.
But
okay, we'll move. Let's go to Bukayo Saka. You're up, bro.
Saka, I would say a 6 as well. Just couldn't do anything. I was worried when I saw who he was playing up against in Acuna. A very tough, tricky customer, very strong, stodgy kind of guy. So I thought, this is going to be a bit rough and tumble for Saka, and obviously someone that's kind of coming back from injury. This might be a bit hard for him. And Acuna didn't really show much quality during the game, but at the same time, I guess done enough in parts to rattle Saka, not let Saka past him. They doubled up on Saka a lot anyway. No magic for the star boy tonight. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm following suit with you. 6 out of 10. I think Acuna did a decent job, like trying to with the rough and tumble stuff. Like you said, he's kind of like a stocky, strong man. And they did double up on him. But I felt like when he did get past the man or got the ball in the area, he was making the wrong decision. A couple of times he was cutting in and trying to shoot, and it just wasn't coming up for him. Outside of that, unfortunately, not a lot of quality, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt and still knowing that he could pop up with a moment of quality at any time. But today wasn't that day. And yeah, 6 from me. Let's go to Martinelli. I'm going to give Martinelli an 8. I thought he was amazing today. You know, probably the other guy we'll talk about was a bit better than him today, but he was great work rate up and down the pitch. Again, doing his thing on the byline, getting to the byline, cutting in. Brilliant, like it's just attacking, just an attacking monster. You know, the amount of running and work he gets through is just unbelievable. Took his goal really well. I think, you know, if everything went the same, he should have had 2. But, you know, today, did you know it was actually his Champions League debut? So, you know, gets a goal on his debut, which is amazing for him. And yeah, like we said before earlier in the episode, he took his goal really well, great composure. And yeah, I just want him playing more because this guy's got 20 goals in him, man. He's got 20 goals a season in him, easy. So, yeah, hopefully more from him, but solid 8.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Martinelli's an exceptional footballer, man. The chaos he causes when the ball is at his feet, it's like none other. Like, and you want that on your team because the opposition, they don't know what to do. He can run with the ball. He can play a 1-2. He's got genuinely very good finishing. You know, very confident in the finish, composed in the finish that we saw today for him to round the keeper. This could be, in a sense, a breakout season for him, especially if you've seen the likes of Saka plateau or drop off because maybe through injury, fatigue, tiredness, whatever it may be, or just, you know, the rest of the league have clocked him and they know how to play against him now. You might see Martinelli start shining more. The guy's fantastic. He got injured, missed a couple games or whatever, came back and, you know, put Man City to the sword straight off. Yeah, he's just a very talented player, which I think now we can see where one side isn't so much working or doesn't look like its perfect best. Martinelli on the left is coming through and we can see how integral he is for us. So yeah, I'll give him an 8. He was very, very good today.
I think we do need to remember we do have 2 star boys, and I know Saka, because he's Hale End, kind of takes the plaudits a lot of the time, and obviously because of his ability. But Martinelli, like you said, is absolute quality. Like, he is amazing, and I'm just happy he's just getting the flowers he so often deserves. But let's go to
Saka. Costed us nothing. As you rightly said, there's 2 star boys in this team, not just one. That cost us nothing from the academy, and Martinelli cost us 6 million from the level 2 Brazilian football, Division 2 Brazilian football. So, you know, even if we turn around tomorrow and say we want to shop both of these guys, we're set. Like I'm saying, we're set. It's not my money, but we're set, you know what I mean? Like it's just such good business, and they're both paying dividends back. Just even in trust of what the club has displayed in them.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's go to the last man in the starting lineup, Mr. Gabriel Jesus.
Bro, Gabi Jesus is getting a 9. That was a phenomenal performance, and that performance is what Arsenal signed him for, and we saw it many a time last season. Obviously, towards the end of last season and beginning of this season, it's wavered a bit just because of fitness, injuries, being in and out of the team, playing out of position. But this is why he needs to be on the pitch. This is why he needs to be in his favored position, although he drifts. Phenomenal striker. When we're coming to like a forward that can do all of these things, this is why we signed him. There's not many better than him. To say he's a striker, but his weakness is putting the ball in the back of the net. It's the mad part. And like I said, we can't pretend like it's all rosy. When the commentator says that's his 4th goal of the season that he scored tonight, it's unacceptable. I wouldn't say it's not good enough. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
But as a general football player and what you do in that position for this team, you are like none other. You are very, very special. And yeah, I don't know if he's got a thing for the Tuesday, Wednesday nights of the Champions League. This is where he's getting all his goals. But yeah, long may it continue. 9 for Gabriel Jesus for me.
Yeah, I mean, similar. I'm going with 9. I don't know if it's maybe the style of play that just gives him a bit more space to do his thing. But he clearly is just able to perform at this level. It's like you said, it's like, how can your weakness as a striker be putting the ball in the back of the net? I mean, you see the turn he did, like Nketiah is not doing that. Half of the league strikers, maybe even 3/4 of the league strikers, they're not doing that. They don't have that technical ability to do that, to turn like that on a sixpence and then play in someone. He's an amazing footballer, and every now and then he shows you that I am a striker. I can finish like a striker as well. Today he was just brilliant, put in a lot of effort, a lot of work up and down, and again, like you said, showed us that why he is our leading number 9 for now. And on his day, he shows us that, you know, if he could just do that more often. I mean, even if he did that like 30 out of 38 games, he'd be absolutely clear. But unfortunately, that's not been the case as of yet. But we hope and pray that he can continue to keep this level up. But yeah, a 9 for Gabriel Jesus. Let's quickly get into the substitutions and the gaffer. We first had Havertz, came off Odegaard. What are you thinking? Oh, it's me actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Havertz, give him a 6, came on, didn't do much, but was tidy on the ball at the very least. Yeah, got up to speed with the game pretty well. Yeah, no problems.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. Just echo your comments. Didn't really see much of him apart from when Sergio Ramos decked him. But yeah, other than that, yeah, largely ineffective or harmless to the result. So 6.
Then we had both Trossard and Nketiah coming on at 81 minutes. We might as well double up on them.
Yeah, for both of them as well, I'd say 6. There was the time when the keeper came out of the goal and Nketiah was running with it, and I thought, God, I said, God, Eddie. He I think the defender that was with him kind of got in front of him, then Eddie won him over. Something man. Yeah, again, they just came in to be legs in this defensive wall we put up. They didn't really get much of the time to showcase their skills. So yeah, done a job. 6 for both of them.
Yeah, felt like Trossard put himself about, you know, won a couple fouls. I did feel like Eddie really struggled to get up with the pace of the game. Like, I don't feel like I saw him control the ball properly once. Everything was kind of bouncing off him, but I'm not gonna. He's just a sub, you know, 9 minutes. I'm not gonna do the guy bad like that. So 6 for both of them. And lastly, Kivior came on like Rob Holding thing. So yeah, I just give him a 6 as well. No problems there. You?
Yeah, 6 for Kivior. I'm not even sure if he got his head on a ball once or anything in the game. Yeah, 6.
Brilliant. So yeah, let's go to the gaffer. I think I'm going to give him a 7. I think I'm not faulting the lineup, other than the Ramsdale issue, but we got the win. But I don't know if that's an excuse anymore, in a sense where, you know, there's still an issue despite the win. You know what I mean? There's still the meritocracy. I know we're just fans and we don't know the inner workings, etc. But we can only go with what you've told us. And with that, we kind of feel like maybe Ramsdale deserves a chance. I'm not saying Ramsdale's the answer, because he's shown us that he's full of mistakes as well at times. So it's just more the idea of this meritocracy. But outside of that, I thought the subs were okay. I was very happy he brought Odegaard first, because when I saw Havertz warming up, I was like, I don't know who you're trying to bring off right now, but it has to be that guy with that number 8 shirt.
I didn't see Odegaard coming off because he's captain, but I was very confused as to Havertz coming on. Who's coming off for him? Like, yeah,
so I was happy with that. But I mean, other than that, I don't think there was anything special, like or anything like tactically amazing that he did. But I do feel like generally, like you said, he did in the press style, that the boys were aware of what they needed to do. So Yeah, good performance from our gaffer overall. 7.
I'll give him an 8. Very like a similar comments to what you've said. I would say there wasn't anything kind of in game that wowed me that I know of. But I think just getting the boys right for this game, you know, like I said, this is the most difficult game with accompanied by the stadium, you know, that we're gonna have in this group stage. So the fact we've come out from it, barring the last minute flurry of energy from Sevilla players, you know, with a good away performance, couple goals, no real blunders or anything like that. Yeah, I think he can say, you know, we got it right today. The boys done their bit. His tactics of what he looks like he sent the boys out for worked. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Brilliant. Just quickly, because I know our time is well spent. Quick little preview to Sheffield United. Only question I want to ask you is, are you expecting a few changes for the lineup? We've played 2 games in close proximity, which have been quite taxing, if not physically, mentally, for the level of performance and concentration the boys have had to give. And more so, there hasn't been a lot of rotation. So me personally, I'm thinking there needs to be some rotation. There needs to be a chance for these other players to come in, to stay hungry, to stay connected to the squad. I feel like there should be some quite decent rotation. Nothing crazy, but like some key players should be coming in. Any initial thoughts before we go?
It's hard to say who. So the only thing, I mean, I can speculate. Maybe Zinchenko stays out, but I mean, he rested him today, so maybe he plays. But I wouldn't be surprised if you keep Tommy in, just to give him minutes. Odegaard, like I said earlier, it would be very smart to use this as an opportunity to take him out. And then you have, you know, a plethora of choices, whether that's a Havertz or a Vieira in that position, or a Smith Rowe. And even looking at the other side of that midfield, double eights or whatever, you know, if you take Jorginho out, drop Rice deeper, then you could play maybe a Vieira and a Havertz. You know, it might be a bit risky because it's like a brand new midfield, but you could try something like that. I would expect Saka to play. I would expect Martinelli to play. Gabriel Jesus obviously went off with a hinge of his hamstring. Maybe he comes out and you give Trossard a goal down the middle, or something like that, because I don't think Eddie quite deserves
I agree.
the starter chance. It's Sheffield United, I know, but I think Trossard, we've seen in these situations, has been better, despite the starts he has got this season have all resulted in being subbed at halftime. So you could see maybe a Trossard start, could be an Nketiah, could be a Havertz in that position. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do expect some changes. I think it's a good opportunity for that, but at the same time, you want to maintain the hunger, and not just, oh, this is Sheffield United, let's ring all the changes, and then we just lose 1-0 or something at home. That would be a bloody disaster. So yeah.
No, I think like it's like just in some areas, I do think people like Vieira and even Havertz need like another game to start. I might even bring in Zinchenko more so, just because we're probably a game we're going to have a lot of the ball, and he might be good with it, especially if we do say you rest Jorginho, put Rice 6, so you can do more sweeping up, and you can have Vieira, Havertz, or even Smith Rowe available. But yeah, I expect Martinelli to keep them in, eat some more minutes. Saka, I think, kind of need to play him into form, see where we are with Jesus, and yeah, I think Trossard is the shout. I think Eddie, like I said, hasn't done enough to warrant another start personally. So yeah, something like that. But I'm hoping for a very boring win, similar to the Bournemouth win. Just smoke these guys. Nice day out. Hopefully it's nice and sunny at least. Whether it's hot, I don't know, but at least the sun will be out, hopefully. And yeah, and then we can ease into our next game, which is West Ham away in the Carabao. But that's all we have for today, guys. Any last thoughts, Mekz?
I was just going to say, a boring win to me is 1 goal every 20 minutes just to keep me awake. So 4-0 to Arsenal against Sheffield United. But on today's game, well done to the boys. We've been saying this before the international break that this was going to be a tough game, and we've gone through it. 2-1. Our next Champions League game is now Sevilla at home, which will also be testing. But I think if we get 3 points there, that takes us up to 9 points, and we're all but there in terms of qualification. And then maybe another point or so will cement us as, you know, the top team in that group, and avoiding any UEFA messing around with balls and we pull out Real Madrid that decided to finish second. Then yeah, we're on our way. Yeah, very impressive from the boys today. Dug deep, got the win. We moved weekend, Sheffield United.
And that is that. As usual, guys, like to reiterate, Cannon Club live everywhere and anywhere. Please check us out. And if you like the digestible chunks, jump onto the YouTube Cannon Club live as well. Appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving us. And yeah, we go again. Sheffield United on the weekend. Mission accomplished in Seville today. Let's do it again on the weekend.